Boy. And we're live. What's going on, dude?
Bro, that intro goes crazy.
Hey, man, best intro in the game, baby. Hell yeah.
I think so. So when you have that hype music, like you, Wales Only have like, also Balliet brand, they got like the hype music that gets you going. But bro, your chat is busting. You got some people in here. Damn.
Oh, heck yeah, man. I always do, man. These guys are some of the soldiers that I've trained for crypto war. So shout out, man. Maybe double intro on another day, but
your DGen gang in the chat.
Yeah, DGen gang and stuff like that. But what is going on, dude? This is like actually one of the first times we chatted a tiny bit maybe on like DMs and stuff, but like this is like actually some of the first times you've actually got a chance to talk. I know for a fact we're trying to set this interview up for like 2-3 months now.
Yeah, bro. Scheduling is like the hardest part of like the worst part of streaming is the scheduling, honestly. But yeah, bro, good to meet you for the first time here face to face. Real chat hours. I'm like half dead. I told you earlier. I did not sleep much last night and I made a bad decision. I had chicken fingers and fries on an empty stomach. So I'm just like, don't do that.
Right.
Start with fruit, guys.
Were you fasting or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be really careful that like because we were kind of talking in the green room a little bit actually about like how much we were into fitness. You can't tell by the massive pounds I've gained, but but yeah, Gerardo, I was like really shocked to see that you were like, oh, I'm hell into the gym. I was like, hell yeah, dude, that's sick.
Yeah, dude, I can't miss it. It's one of those non-negotiables because it's just like it carries over to like everything else in life, in my opinion. Like the discipline, the organization of like, you know, just what you're working out, like even the progress. Like, okay, got a little better this week. I like to gamify things, you know, like whether it's YouTube, whether it's working out, just like leveling up. Like that's probably why I liked RuneScape as a kid. But
of course you're successful. Of course you're of course. Like I have found this shit like with everybody that I know of that's like made a ton of money or is going to be successful. They always were the World of Warcraft player or a RuneScape player or EVE Online. It was like some MMORPG or something like that. They were always like, you know, like obviously I know we all played Pokemon, but what I've noticed it's always like the RuneScape, the WoW players and stuff like that are really, you know, killing it in the crypto game and stuff. So I'm not really surprised.
Dude, they had whole ass economies, like the Grand Exchange, like that if you know, you know. But yeah, man, we can talk about literally anything in this chat. Like I said, I'm an open book. We can also answer like questions from the chat.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
I,
yeah.
I guess the way we'll end up doing is I want the like. There's a couple things I wanted to ask you, and then we can kind of get
Please.
into some other topics and stuff in terms of like Mintra and stuff like that, which looks really
Yes.
really cool. That's really cool.
Thanks,
But
man.
I guess like since the first time I'm talking to you, I guess like did you just start off with Hex in the beginning and stuff, or were you in other cryptos beforehand?
I started with Bitcoin, right? The gateway
Right.
drug, and then quickly realized ETH is better. Like
Yep.
very, very quickly realized ETH is just, crushes Bitcoin. And then that's when I started like looking at all these altcoins, all these crap coins, and yeah, I got like I've told kind of the story before, like 2018 bear market kind of caught me with my pants down. Um, lost some money there. Like as a college student, a few grand is a lot of money, especially when you're just tutoring for work. So I was just like grinding it out for a few years. But yeah, I started with Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then went back to the normal, just like regular, just like jobs, and then that's when I found Hex. And before it even came out, I was watching Richard content. Like the bear market will, I say this a lot, the bear market will filter down who you listen to. So I went from listening to like all of the crypto YouTubers because I was a fresh noob, right? Fresh meat, into just listening to like 2, 3 people, and Richard was one of them. So you know where the story goes from there.
No, I got you on that. And I know for a fact because like one of the people I was used to watch so much was like Doug Polk because it would just make me laugh basically because he'd have some really funny videos and then he just him and like everybody, just about everybody disappeared. I think the only person who stayed around was maybe like Data Dash. I think was maybe
Data Dash, the man,
yeah. Shout out Data Dash and stuff. Yeah, I think Data Dash was like one of the last people that stuck around, and then like yeah, that's about it really.
Have you seen the Data Dash Richard Hart interview from like 2019? It's so good. Like
I bet I have. Yeah,
he's an
it's been a minute
open-minded guy, man. Like he's one of the few like influencers with a ton of following, a ton of influence, who actually like isn't isn't like a gatekeeping piece of trash. You know what I mean?
So this is like something I was telling my students like a long time ago, like, or I actually been saying this for quite a while. Like at some point when the Pulsechain launches and stuff and everything ends up happening, of course there's going to be a lull, but after that lull, when we come back, Pulsechain will be the last thing pumping in the market, and you're going to have capitulation from a lot of these Twitter and YouTube guys, and it's going to be funny.
Capitulation into Pulse.
Into Pulse, yeah. Like I think because the way the whole rollout's happening. I mean, this is really the last major L1 to be launched in the cycle, basically.
No, you're right. We're freaking late, man. But that doesn't necessarily mean bad.
Oh,
but
it's not
right.
bad. I mean, yeah,
like last one.
I mean, because we're kind of playing off of Hex rules, right? It's like this is the last. I mean, like Hex kind of pumps whenever it wants. It's the honey badger, right? It's like can't kill the honey badger or whatever. So it's that sort of thing with that. But no, that's really really cool, man. So yeah, that's really in terms of that. I'm guessing you're a ladder man instead of like an all in like because I met a lot of like OGs back in the day. I used to have interviews with them and stuff, and a lot of them like did massive big one, like they did like one stake every 3 years or something like that, which I kind of just said probably not the best idea, I'm guessing.
My ladder looks kind of ugly. Like I've seen some really pretty ladders where it's like visually appealing. Mine's kind of like all over the place with, I guess, a few sprinkles of organization in there. It makes sense. It's not terrible. It just looks funny on a histogram. But no, yeah, it's a solid ladder, I think.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good. No, I'm glad people ladder because like I get sad sometimes. I get messages here and there sometimes, and people telling me like, yeah, I didn't ladder the way I should have probably. Like, yeah, it's a little, or like people did too many small ones, like micro ones and stuff.
Yeah, like daily unstakes of like 1,000 hex for hella long.
Like, I was guilty of that, except they weren't like 1,000 hex, so it's like pretty nice. But I course corrected after a while, but like I mean, like I remember Richard telling us like what was it like what was it yeah, he was basically telling us like, you know, I don't see much of a point in staking past 10 years. So I was like, well, yes, sir. 1 to 10. Here we go. And the ladder. And then like,
I think that really.
Yeah, in the beginning, Richard was telling us like, yeah, I don't really see the point. I mean, your bonus is kind of maxed out at 10 years, so I don't really see the point of doing 15s and stuff like that. I mean, like he was kind of discouraging like a little. I mean, obviously like 555s are cool, but this is like right in the beginning of Hex, like the first 3 months of it, like so December, January, February, and I think around March or around the time that we started doing interviews on the Discourse Syndicate with Dev Kyle and stuff. We're like, yo, these 10 to 15, these 10 to 5, these 10 to 15s are kind of nice. I get it, like the t-shirt. And then, a lot of us in the background, me, I was talking to RG and stuff way back in the day. We're like, God damn it. Because, because there was that whole point in the beginning of Hex where you could emergency unstake your 1 year stakes basically. And there's really no harm, no foul, basically. And then there's still time in the AA where you could still get the big payday bonus and stuff. So, but if you did like a 2.5, 3, 4, 5, up to 10, those are locked in. That's it, basically. Yeah. Totally. So you can only really maneuver so much.
But yeah, let's talk about that. So the bonuses do basically stop after 10 years. Yeah. And for those who don't know, a year in the Hex contract, I don't know if you know this, but a year in the Hex contract is actually 364 days.
I did not actually,
it's,
sir.
52 weeks. So 52 times 7, 364.
Right. Yeah.
And so the 10-year mark actually cuts off at 3,641 days or something. 3640 or 3641. I forget. It's like off by 1 because the day has to roll over or something.
Right.
But that's where it cuts off. But to what you were saying earlier, anywhere from 3,641 days to 5,555 days, even though you don't get any more share bonuses, you think, if you think about it, the benefit of those is that your payout per t-shirt probably starts exploding after
you get past the average.
Right, because the shares start what is it called? Start getting burned, start getting destroyed. The share pool starts diminishing, and so if you're still staked out when no one else is, like, what happens? You get more of the pie.
Yeah, it's like in terms of, because the t-shirt rate keeps going up, right? So you're at the bare minimum. There's a minimum amount of profit you're going to get off a Hex share the older it is. But on top of that, what I love about like the t-shirt payout and stuff like legitimately, the longer your stake is, the more the ROI is going to be insane. Because sadly, this is one. It's a pumpamental, but it's a little bit of a sad pumpamental. Hacks, people forgetting address wallets and stuff. Like rolling, people losing stakes and stuff. Once you get past 2 weeks or so, you start losing 1% of your stake value and stuff every week until it essentially evaporates and everything like that.
Goes back to the people. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have to cut me off.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh no! It's actually a joke on my channel. Like I sometimes play this meme and stuff where it says Pepe says, "You didn't have to cut me off."
Latin America. Nice.
Yeah, here, look, I'll play it 1 second.
Good one.
Right.
So, how do you set that up? Like, I need to set up some cool little.
Little stuff. Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, I mean, what streaming platform do you use?
StreamYard.
Oh, so you have to download. It's basically downloadable clips and stuff, or short videos, and you can set it up. I can show you after the stream and stuff.
Word. How did you get so into meme culture? Because you're like the meme culture king in Hex.
Oh, dude, it's just that's what I mean. I guess it started on Facebook, really.
Yeah.
When I first got into Facebook, everyone was just really I saw the whole birth of that I forget some of the old memes, like the black and white pencil memes, basically those, and then saw it evolve. And then I remember a point where Pepe legitimately was a pretty racist ass. This is the thing back in because it started on 4chan basically, where people took it was this. I think if I remember, there's this guy who made it, and then they put it on 4chan, and then basically it was only being used as pretty bad meme, basically kind of pretty racist stuff in terms of, not racist in terms of KKK shit or something like that, but more in terms of just I don't know, it's a general sort of thing, basically you'll fuck everybody and stuff, the Pepe King. And then eventually it ended up just evolving until everyone using it basically a template. And then now crypto is taking it as its own and stuff like that, where it's just so versatile. It's so versatile because it's, you know, as a Pepe, you can describe anyone like because the problem with some of the older memes back in the day were like it was either like a white person or a black guy or something like that, and it was kind of not very inclusive. Where with like you have a green frog, it pretty much it's every race or any person, right? So it's like it grows up lifting, bro, like you know, like that and stuff. And that's one of the reasons why it got so popular. Two, it's a history of memes. I mean, look, he's like some little fat Templar with the sword. Nice. I mean, it's like it's just the culture, right? But you know, a lot of cryptocurrency, like even Bitcoin when it first got created, it was a meme. Technically, it was an idea that spread, right? Yeah. So I always thought that if I stay on top of meme culture and everything like that, it would be easier to kind of figure out what the move was going to be or where like the attention was going to go, basically. Because like the people making the memes are usually like the at least in crypto terms are the ones that kind of know where like kind of the thing is going. And you see how much memes we have in Hex, and like Hex has always been kind of memey and stuff back in the day. Like I have tons of old memes on an old phone of like Hexologist was actually one of the meme lords back. I mean, yeah, still is, but like he was a meme lord. Like oh my god, like there's some like horrible ones he did of RG3 as basically a small person.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah,
man, the good days, simpler times, man.
No, it was simpler times. Like I actually miss the old days where everyone wasn't. I don't know why. Like it's funny. Like the Hex girls are all saying like Hex girls don't fight, and all the Hex guys are just getting into arguments now and shit. It's kind of hilarious.
What's up with that? Like,
it's just clout. I mean, people like it's clout. It's clout, dude. Like everyone's competing. Like I have no idea why. Like it should be kumbaya because it's like we're you know it's us against the empire, right? Basically, right? Like. And like we're already starting to have infighting, which is pretty fucking sad, really. Like
yeah. Cloutfarm.exe.
Yeah, and not even, and it's really funny because it doesn't even make sense why people would want like the big clout, really, because you like half the OGs are so rich already. Like what's the, I mean, like it should be more about fostering the next generation or the next you know types of hexagons to kind of get up. You know, it's like me if I was like you know Gerardo, man, that guy, like who does he think he is with this pointy hair? Like who does this guy think he is and stuff like how dare he come into the hex space? This is my house. Like that's so dumb.
I mean, I'm starting to see my first wave of haters come through.
Really?
So, yep, starting to get the good old internet hate.
But is it because of the Mintrust stuff, or it was? Or
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Some people just don't like seeing other people build. Like even if it's gonna pump their bags, or maybe they don't understand that. But you and I know that we want to load up the Pulse network with as much stuff as possible.
Right. So, just to kind of expound,
as much good stuff as possible. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like just to expound on. I mean, like not even. I mean, I think the reason for that is like whether this is a good or bad thing. I mean, we were brought up as like an OG hexagon, or a good old hexagon was basically all other coins are bad. We are like, I mean, which I understand most coins are shit. Let's be for real.
Yes.
90 per nine. No. I mean too generous. 99.5% of coins are dog shit. Like they're bad. Like they're bad. There is good useful coins here and there and stuff like that, but like they're are they as good as Hex? Probably not. Some are, or they outpump Hex for a little bit, and then from there it's almost like not to like bash Hex or nothing, but like if Hex is BTC, and like BTC keeps going up, or if it's Ethereum, it keeps going up over time, and you only temporarily beat Ethereum, and then like that. That's kind of what Hex is in a way.
I see it.
Yeah, and
that's kind of the I know, like that's kind of the thinking, the line of thinking I went in with a pulse launch, the pulse sacrifice phase. I was like, because I was debating like how much of my Hex to give up for these things, and then I'm like I don't want to be that the old Bitcoin guy who's like, nah, fuck Ethereum, like, and then gets outpaced by it where Bitcoin does 100x and Ethereum does like 10,000x, which happened. And even Richard mentions it, like that's what pissed him off, that Ethereum outpaced his gains during that cycle.
Right.
So like you don't want to be the guy just stuck in their old ways. And yeah, Hex is freaking amazing, but so like Bitcoin was doing amazing gains during that time. So like you don't want to be that guy stuck in the old world and then just completely miss out on the new one. So that influenced me to go like pretty heavy with the Hex stack. So.
No, with the Hexac or the Pulsex or Pulsechain Hexac?
Heavy.
Oh, you mean the AA?
Heavy sacrificing hex stack to Pulse and to Pulsex.
Got you. It's my bad.
Yeah,
I misunderstood.
yeah.
I thought you said like into the AA because I also understand. Yeah, that was pretty good time to go ahead.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
It definitely was. But you know, the thing that made me sad that like this is something I actually was doing with like I remember talking to Hexo about this like way back in the day. Like we were just so hell bent on we would just keep doing the AA when like this is like one thing that I kind of regret doing a little bit was like I literally from like day one to like until my Ethereum ran out, I was doing the AA, and there was a point in time where like you know, the rate kept going up, which is fine. We're still getting a ton of hex. It doesn't matter in retrospect really, but like we should have probably been on buying most of our hex through Uniswap instead of the AA, getting it that way basically. Because there was times when it was actually way cheaper on Uniswap and stuff. I remember.
Like way cheaper.
Yeah, like pretty significantly. Yeah, because like especially like in certain points of it, the rates were horrible in comparison. And during that time, then later on, it became they were like we're in huge profits because like you know what I'm trying, because there's times when like it would launch on some of these exchanges and it would be you'd be able to get a ton for pretty cheap.
Got it. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it went to a level on Hit BTC that we didn't see anywhere else. Or is that wrong? Like, I'm pretty sure it actually went to like 0.0000, like lower than the actual all-time low. But I don't know how much liquidity was there.
Not much. I mean, if I remember, what was it? Was it Baidet? No, Baidet.
Actually, I think you're right. It might have been one of those like super obscure ones, like Baidet.
It was like Baidet. Oh, shout out! You know, they're dead now, but
yeah.
But no, but it's just like I was super afraid at the time. I mean, I'll be honest, like I was really afraid of like using those things, honestly, because like I mean, I've always been really careful. I've been really careful with that stuff because like I mean, there's tons of like not even airdrops, but like claim your coins this and this on some of the old hex clones and stuff like that. I just told people just, you know, I was right about that, you know, to tell people to stay away from all that shit, you know.
Definitely, but be careful. You have
yeah,
some really nice ass people in the chat, man. Like, I support you, G and DCC. I got your back, G. We love building. You're a pioneer. Why would anyone ever? Like, we love Mintra. It'll onboard so many users. Get the likes up. Like, you have like really cool audience, bro.
No, I mean the number one. Well, so when I a lot of these guys are my students and stuff, and I taught a lot of them from the ground up, and like the first thing I tell them, the number one rule of crypto mindset is don't be a cunt. It really just, you know, it's like, you know, we're trying to help each other out. It's yeah, salud. You know, it's a brotherhood, you know, and you know, you shouldn't be trying to fight with each other or nothing like that. But it's kind of wild. Like I understand why, and this is something that I was saying early on in the Hex community back on when I was in the Discord syndicate and stuff, that was one of the problem is that at some point, if we ever were to like expand out to make like anytime you made a project, you're an asshole. Basically, like why would you need to make anything for Hex? You're like, you don't need nothing for Hex. I mean, the only thing I think that would have been accepted is if like I made an exchange or something that allowed Hex. I think that would be like the one centralized thing that would have been allowed. Maybe like, oh, you know, DCC made an exchange. Oh, and you can buy Hex with it. Oh, okay, cool. I guess that's okay. Other than that, like it's bullshit basically, which is not right, because we're evolving from a 1 token ecosystem into a 5 token ecosystem, and more than that, like it's like we're kind of, this is the first time like Hexicans are being allowed to be shitcoiners in a way as well, which is kind of, I know that's not the nicest word, but it's just the funniest word to say.
Well, why do you put it that way? Is it because of one of the tokens in the ecosystem being an L1, or?
Well, okay, it's even Richard's admitted this. I mean, like, there's nothing to like. Obviously, we're gonna get scam tokens on Pulsechain. We're gonna get bullshit, right? So, like, obviously, like, I do, but like, I actually like, because I want to talk about Minter. Sorry, what's it called? I'm fucking the name of. But yeah, your NFT platform, and then I think there's like maybe like Liquid Loans or Hedron will be good projects where they'll last a long time and stuff like that. But you know, it is this whole sort of thing where like you know, the Iron Bank always gets to do, which is like the, you know, the 5 Richard coins or the Infinity Stones basically, and you know, you have to be really careful, because like I think a lot of Hexicans aren't really prepared for the onslaught of like shitcoinery in yield farming and in permanent loss that I don't think they're going to be. A lot of them are going to end up losing quite a bit of their coins if they're not careful in terms of like through impermanent loss, withdrawing LPs, not understanding, essentially gifting coins to the market, trying to trade, because there's so many more coins now that there is times where you do have to like jump into something. So there is going to be some trading, mandatory trading, especially if you need to rebalance your portfolio, because some people are going to be very heavy Pulsex versus everything else. So they need, like, if you're all Pulsex, it would be nice to get some Pulsechain or some PHEX. So there is going to be like winners and losers in that, which sucks, you know. Well, I mean, whether we're even if we're not really not trying to do like have that happen, it's kind of the way of how the beast kind of works. Is there is going to be sort of like that itself, and then versus like when we actually get dollar marks. So there'll be times where you could move money into something else to like, you know, maybe like Pulsex goes bananas, and then like for some reason PHEX isn't moving, and then you could sell some Pulsex into PHEX, and you're like, wow, I'm stacking it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's gonna be, and then like PHEX shoots up, and you're like, you know, I didn't have a lot of Pulsechain, but like, and I'm talking about the guy who's winning it. Like and then there's the opposite side where like, oh, Pulsex is trash. I'm going all into PHEX, and PHEX does an 80% correction.
Right.
Like, oh my god, you know. But it's all paper. I mean, it's all in. You know, it's not real until you sell. Really, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
of course. That's one of the things I'm actually most excited about for Pulsechain is going to be seeing the different cycles of all this stuff. Oh, shout out Hex Patient if you want to cover that. Yeah, it'll be like you already see it now where people rotate from Bitcoin to Ethereum to altcoins in that whole game. So seeing that with our new ecosystem, like that's going to be fun to see these things on different cycles and seeing what they're paired with in terms of like what the majority liquidity pair for something like, you know, Pulse is going to be, or Pulsex, or like, what do you think? You think it's going to be wrapped stable at first, or you think everything's going to be liquidity tied to PLS, or like fractionated?
It's probably going to be a wrap sort of die in the beginning at first, and then from there, if liquid loans does really well, then maybe like USDL will be pretty good at some point. But like here, like I've said it, and I said this to my students, if we are still playing in the Richard Hart cinematic universe. So if Richard at some point says, you know, like, you know, fuck liquid loans, and I'm not saying that because I'm not saying liquid loans is bad. I think it's actually pretty decent. But if for some reason Richard says, you know, you guys, this is a bit much. You guys shouldn't be doing this. Damn, like Richard can nuke anything basically in the ecosystem.
Yeah, he can.
Just by saying, even if he didn't really mean to, he could just say, yeah, I wouldn't be fucking with it. And then some hexagons would be like, yes, sir. Withdraw, you know. So this is like, there is that as well, you know. So, but it just kind of is what it is, you know.
He already kind of showed a little bit of not disapproval, but just like saying, I'm not going to talk about it. Like, those two I'm going to ban in the chat just because so many people have been asking him about specifically those two, liquid loans and Hedron, which even I haven't like gone in depth to educate myself and give public opinions on these. Like I've had members reach out and be like, yo, do you want to live stream? Yo, do you want to like cover this? But like, I can't cover it if I don't even know about
what it is
first. And they might have like a little biased angle when educating me on it. So I just have to make the time for it. But like, is you and I know, like, it's hard to make time for everything.
Yeah, I'll send you a good video because like I actually, this was a model, like I actually was really hyped about the token that they copy pasted, which was like liquid loans, where they copy pasted liquidity and stuff back in the day.
What is it called?
Liquidity. It's like LQT. I'll find it for you. But
okay, so
yeah, but it was a really, I was like, wow, this token's insane, and I think some of the people who bastardized it were actually make them some of the maker money, and some of there's when a new kind of stablecoin comes in, there's a lot of old incumbents that buy it up and intentionally destroy it, try to destroy it. Yeah, well, it's competition. Like you know, they're trying to keep the competition down. Like, so you're saying, like, because if you look at it, right, it was supposed to be a stable coin backed by only Ethereum, decentralized, and then the contract's immutable. I was reading this stuff back in the day when, like, and this is after Hex was created, and I was like, geez, this looks really cool. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, shout out to Voice, my boy.
I see that.
QTY. Yeah, that's where it's copied from and stuff. And I was like, this is a great idea, but gas fees killed the project, as well as a really bad distribution of whales. So either there were just some whales that just kept grabbing the token, yield farming, and then dumping it basically into until it nuked down like that, and it still hasn't recovered really well. I think they recently put it onto Coinbase or something like that, but still hasn't done. Like, it had a little Coinbase pump, and then it's still in the shitter even now. And like the founder is just kind of very jaded from what I've heard. From this is just what hearsay. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is kind of my specialty is shitcoinery. So Hedron I know very little about as well. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah, I'll admit I played with their little DApp on Pulse testnet last night. I was like, you can like mint or claim your Hedron, I think, based on your hex stakes. And then I was like, all right, let's see how much this is worth on the Uniswap front end. And I just dumped the shit out of the Hedron. I sent it from like, I think I dumped it like 99% or something last night. If you guys want to go check the price of Hedron on Pulse testnet.
Oh my God! So you're the whale, Gerardo. No, you see, it was you. You see, like, I want you guys to see this right now. Clip this video and say, Gerardo, he's the one. He's going to dump your coins. You got
just testnet shenanigans, you know.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I think I think you jogged my memory on what it is basically. Yeah, this is like some of the stuff I used to talk back in the day with. Like, I remember I talked to Richard about this idea of like having like a secondary market for like. And so, because people don't want to don't want emergency unstake hex stakes and stuff like that. You know?
Right.
But like, hopefully they can pull it off, because like the way I would have done it, was going to be a really tad bit different. But if they pull it off, I'm like, shit. You know, I'm happy for them.
Really the Hedron guys.
The Hedron guy. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just don't want any rugs. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's as long, I mean, sure, like at some point your token's going to go bananas, and then it's just going to be chilling, or maybe just go sideways forever.
Yeah, you know? Because if you're able to just like mint the Hedron based on your hex stakes, like will it just be dumped into oblivion? Like, where are the fundamentals on it? I'm not educated on it, so maybe tokenomics, but
yeah, me and Gerardo aren't trying to talk our ass.
No. I don't know. I should just shut up.
But what about your project, sir? What's going on there? I've heard some magical things.
So definitely. So he goes by Rogers. You guys might know him in the community. He and some guys were doing the whole PLS NFT thing. If you remember that page, that branding, and it just wasn't really taking off until I kind of stepped in a little bit and was like, because look, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit Richard talks about. Like you mentioned exchange earlier, and Richard has talked about on stream things like go build exchanges, go build margin trading, go build, and he even mentioned like, you know, it's not that difficult to do a OpenSea clone. Basically, you just have servers hosting the images, right? And so it's like, all right, that's low-hanging fruit. So he inspires through his streams. Like, who doesn't get inspired by that man? And then Rogers was also inspired. He was at London, sat next to him, and I think he was telling him like, yo, I want to do some NFT stuff. And Richard was like, why don't you do an NFT marketplace instead? And so, you know, it's inspired from the man himself, for those you little haters out there. And yeah, if we both had the same inspiration, we both had the same ideas, came together on just a call. And during that first call, it kind of made sense. Like, oh, you guys kind of have what I need, what I want. I have what you guys need, what we want. Let's collaborate. Let's rebrand, make this something that actually gets traction, gets eyes, get people talking, and let's actually build this NFT marketplace, load up the Pulse network, bring the NFT guys over. Like I can go down the list of benefits of like why we're doing this, but those are two main ones, right? Like load up the Pulse network, which burns Pulse fees, and also onboard a ton of NFT guys over. As we know, NFTs are huge. OpenSea is the biggest gas guzzler on Ethereum, has been for a while, and yeah, we know that Pulse scales with network effect. So,
no, I mean, I think it's a great thing, regardless or not, even which is like, you know, testament to them or a detriment to them. You know, Richard doesn't like them, but at the same time, like people want them. So you have to give the market what it wants, and if it wants that place, you have to give them that. That's what it is. Especially how we have an L1 now. So and we're trying to eat, you know, Ethereum's lunch basically. But I did like how you guys are forking Looks token. Am I correct on that?
It's not a fork, right? That one tweet that'll haunt me forever. I'm forking OpenSea. that was just like marketing language. Like, how do I get the world to understand what I'm doing in
Right.
3 words? And it worked. But technically, like putting up new servers, new front end, like similar UI. But you're right, more so closer to the model of something like Looks, where like OpenSea doesn't share their revenue with their users.
No, I mean,
Looks does.
They're partially owned by Andreessen Horowitz.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Oh, they're like they're the biggest VC in crypto, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, A16Z is what they're called, but it's Andreessen Horowitz. It's like like A16Z is their like their crypto branch of themselves. They're a huge VC.
Interesting. So I guess you just gave me a new little pitch for Mintra. Like, no VCs here. Well,
yeah, no VC. If you want some stuff, you have a vulture capitalist. Yeah, vulture capitalist, but no, they're no, I do like that you went with that model, because I mean, I personally had some friends that made millions off of the Looks tokens and stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Millions.
they made a million.
I thought I was cool selling that $7 top and making a few grand.
Well, they took profits. I think they took. I mean, I'm sick about it. Like, I have a friend of mine who told me about it at like $1, like low dollars. Like $1.12, something like that, basically.
Really?
And where they made a lot of their money was they took profits, obviously, when they went up high, but they made a ton of money off of the revenue distribution. The way it works,
right.
so they got paid out on a lot of wrapped Ethereum.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love the model of you get paid out in something that isn't the token, because as we know, like if you get paid out in the token, like that token will probably dip, and it'll have like constant sell pressure. And any yield token will have this constant sell pressure over time. So yeah, I like that. So they give out wrapped ETH, right? And something like Mintra will give out PLS to the stakers. So it's a play on accumulating PLS. It's like basically copying the Looks model that worked. Better fee than OpenSea. So instead of 2.5% on all NFT sales, it charges 2.25%.
Right.
Also like the idea of buy and burn, right? In the spirit of Pulsex. So just like combining the best things of all these worlds and just making this Frankenstein NFT marketplace that hopefully does really well.
No, I think it will. I mean,
I think so.
Hopefully, the only thing is what I think is like where you will have a leg up versus like the Looks ecosystem. Is like if you actually, because I actually think you can actually really start this off, because like one thing I always look for in terms of my main thesis in terms of investing in tokens, other than the tokenomics themselves, is like I look into the founder and the team and stuff. So if I think you're a good person, or I think you're competent or something, if you came out with a coin, I'm like, Gerardo coin, yeah, I'll put some money on that. Sure, why not? I was like, Gerardo coin, shit. I mean, obviously I'll do a little more research than that, right? How tall you are, how strong, the muscles, the important things, right?
Of course.
But of course, no. But when I originally was getting into Hex, like I was like, Richard's making the coin. All right, I'm in. That's it. That's all I had to say. That's all I had to say. Like, like if he would have made like a meme coin, I was like, I'm in. Let's go. Back in the day, yeah. But yeah. Shout out to Anorak. He's the NFT wizard. But it's a sort of thing where where Looks just came out of nowhere, and it was really really shilled out. Like I knew about it pretty early on, just because a buddy of mine told me about that. All the major like NFT guys were kind of getting let in early into stuff into it, kind of on the down low. So it was going to be pushed hard, basically. So I was like, gotcha, got it. So where this is, I feel like a lot more like grassroots, which is important, because this is what I look for in projects that I see I call them the hipsters, basically, or like the cool guys, or whoever's jumping into like the space. If I see like the power users, and dudes who don't have a lot of money and then do have a lot of money, it's just the people who actually just want to use the stuff, not just like profit off it, but like use it. I watch a lot of those kind of people, and if I see that, right, and I see that with a lot of Hex people, like Hex, and I know a lot of Hexicans are going to be like doing everything they can to learn as much as they can about the Pulsechain ecosystem. People are playing the testnet. It gets me pretty excited for like the NFT side, especially if you pull. I think you're going to pull it off, and it can do really well, right? And that means sustained volume, because the Looks volume obviously there was a lot of wash trading to pump the volume up. So people were like, wow. And then now the volume is starting to go down, obviously. So, it's yeah. So I feel like you can get a really good baseline, and then you have sustainable like volume, which is good.
I think what the Looks guys did, they had this like hack, they threw this little hack in there where I think they forced their users to uplist an NFT to be able to claim their Looks.
Let me try to think. Oh yeah. I think it was like certain ones of the top projects or something. Were
So
pretty much
they basically inflated the amount of like volume going through their thing and the amount of NFTs listed, which is smart, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that's a good point you bring up, like the whole grassroots aspect of projects, like no VCs. Yeah, some good points you brought up there. Someone asked in the chat if Mintra will be deflationary, and I just have to answer that. Yes.
Yeah, please.
Yes,
will it be?
Yeah.
Oh, it will be. Nice. So because you said a burn feature, right? There's gonna be a burn feature sort of with it, right?
I'd love to see that. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. I mean, from the sacrifice phase, I mean, because the sacrifice phase started this morning, right?
Started almost 12 hours ago.
Woo! No wonder you got no sleep, man.
It'll keep you up.
So after this, like, how long will it last? Is it going to be like more like the Pulsechain one, or is it going to be more like the Pulsex one, a lot longer of a sacrifice phase?
Be short. No one likes long sacrifice phases. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but it's short. It started, like we said, 12 hours ago. It'll last until March 2nd, so 14 days.
That's good.
End of March 1st, the start of March 2nd. So 14 days where it's just a flat time bonding curve. The only bonding curve that's not flat during these 14 days is the volume bonding curve, where it's 1 to 2.5x. So whales can play their whale games, and you incentivize, obviously, bigger players coming in. And there's just a mechanism to choose who gets the supply, right? Like you have to choose somehow, and you don't want to give it to apathetic users who are just going to dump the crap out of your token because they don't have skin in the game. So that's the reasoning behind that. 100 points per USD equivalent. We're kind of playing with a unit regime a little bit, just to not copy the typical 10,000x or the typical 10,000 points per USD, because it's cool to have tokens that don't start at 0.00000. Like it's nice, I think, to have one that maybe starts at a penny.
Money, yeah, like that was a huge one, because I used to hate doing this back in the day. The price of hex is 10% of 10% of a penny, which was like a bit much sometimes.
Yeah,
I was literally having a party when finally I was like, Jesus Christ, thank God I can call hex is a penny, 1.5 pennies, you guys. We did it.
It's at a good spot now where you can just say, 20 cents. Is it 20 cents, by the way? I don't even know anymore.
It's like 19, 20 cents right now.
It's been there forever.
Yeah, I'm telling. I mean, I just got off the phone. I've been telling some of my buddies and said, "Dude, buy some right now, dude. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, get some."
Yeah. Typically, when it just goes flat, like I remember a lot of just flat bottoms in hex. Like specifically the one where it did like this weird little. I can see it in my head. I forget where it was, but it just did like this flat thing for a minute and then just like
launched up. It was probably after the sack. I mean, maybe in the first sack phase or something. Like there's a bunch of them I can remember of and stuff where it was like after it dipped down, it kind of went sideways for a while and then just like bam, just took off.
Yeah.
We were at that. It's crazy. I know you're talking about. Like I can picture all the price.
Right. Me too.
It's wild. Like the one I loved the most was just like, the sacrifice pump, and then there's just the price dip after the sacrifice for the Pulsechain sacrifice, and then like the little bit of a lull, and then just like rocket up. We're like, wow. And then boom. I remember I was on stream with like, what was it? Who was I? Maybe in the Nights of Crypto and stuff back when we were doing it back in the day. I think it was like me, Motley, and a bunch of other guys who were like, we went off stream for a minute just to go buy some. Right on that dip, we just bought a ton, and then it just went like this. Bam, straight to 33 cents, and then and then 40 cents, and then 56. That was amazing. That was such a euphoric run. Like, obviously, I could tell. Like, if you look in retrospect, like all the hex flex was pretty, like all the hex flex on Twitter was pretty wild,
bro. That was a euphoric run. I was like, picture this: I was out in San Bernardino during that time. My first ever like real big music festival. just having the time of my life, like great weather, great friends, everything's just like the music's amazing. And Hex is like hitting 50 cents. It's just like peak experience. Just I'll never forget that. But just to your point of like the euphoria that was going on during that time, one of the most memorable runs, like 50 cents, bro. Like, come on.
It was wild. It was a dream, dude. It was a dream. And
Yeah.
we're not even that far. It's
We're
what you
not.
get. But that's the thing about humans is like, you know, or like it's like that chasing the dragon. Like once we got in it, like, yeah, that's cool. You know, it's you get used to it, which is like kind of terrible in a way where like you can't keep that like euphoric sort of feeling. But like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just human nature. We normalize things. Like Motley said it best on the stream I did with him a few days ago, where he was like, if you had told people that we'd be going flat at 20 cents, like people would be go nuts.
Right.
Just framing it from the perspective when we were like a third of a penny or something. Like, yo guys, we're gonna go flat at 20 cents for a minute. Like, excuse me. Come again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, on it, like my first, like I'll tell you the truth, like this is legitimately my strategy for Hex in the beginning. It was like, was this like, you know what, Hex worst case, it's probably just gonna do what Dogecoin did last cycle. So I was like, hey, 8 cent top. I was like, yeah, it looks about right. So if I like, I was like, if I could take profits at like 4 or 5, you know, obviously this is like way in the beginning, like when I first started, when like once we kind of saw it launch within a week or two, I did some, I just like, what's the supply? Yeah, it's kind of close to Dogecoin a little bit. So I could see it going to 8 cents. So I was like, I charted it or looked at the chart and stuff, and like, yeah, I could do roughly, we could do 8 cents in 2.5 years. I was like, that's about right. Like even if you don't do 10,000x, 8 cents is pretty decent. So I'm like, all right, I'm in. Let's go. And that's it. You know,
that's a good it's a good prediction because we're sitting at what 2-3x above that, which is like a 2-3x in the midst of a 10,000x. Like that's a pretty good prediction.
Yeah, I mean that's what I thought, because I had a okay, so like let me get a grasp on this of like stuff, something that's done something like that. I mean, obviously, like I know, like, you know, Doge is pretty old and stuff, but at the time, like it was like the only, like what's a coin that's had enough history with this much supply in tokens, where like there's enough price history, right? So Doge was the only thing that had that much supply. Like everything else had because everything was especially last cycle, everything was kind of copy pasting Bitcoin or maybe Ethereum or Litecoin. So the supplies, the average token from back in the day, the supplies were mostly like 100 million. Like a billion would be a lot on a token.
Right.
So having something like Hex with that much supply, I was like, the only thing I could look at was basically Doge, basically.
So have you done that similar homework with Pulse and Pulse X? Like, have you thought, okay, what has trillions in supply? Because that's, well, not even just trillions. We're talking like Pulse is going to have 150 trillion supply. Like, have you done your homework on that? Is there any alpha you can leak on that, or is that more so for like your students? And
well,
okay.
Well, I have. Okay, I have, but I'll keep that nestled down a little bit. It's just because like I'm about the responsible ape, not going like it's like I think most people, like, because like even on some of my students and stuff, right? Like my oldest students maybe like a year and a half into the game at most, right? So like it's a sort of thing where, you know, like I mean I've been in crypto almost 6.5 now, almost like 6.5 years and stuff in crypto, and I'm still like not a novice, but like I'm still like it's not that long in crypto and stuff, basically even that long, and because compared to like someone like Richard and stuff who's been in since like that, I mean like crypto's almost 2009 to now, like what is that, like 12 years basically? Crypto's like 12 years old, give or take.
Sure.
But yeah, there is like a coin or two, but here's the thing is like there really isn't, like there's a couple coins, but they're kind of scam coins, like that I saw with that much supply, like, and which is I don't want to like, so they're kind of the first in the real class where you have a serious project. And I'm being kind of like laughy about Doge really, but Doge did prove the market wrong of like how well it did last cycle and even in this cycle. I mean, like people thought Doge was going to do what it was going to do. Like I remember in the bear market of last cycle, I mean I bought a ton of Doge for pretty cheap, and watch this. You could have bought Doge on. This one I knew something was up about Doge was when it got added to like Robinhood. I was like, why would they? I was like, that's a weird coinkydink. Why would they add Dogecoin? Out of all the coins in the world, they add Doge. That's fucking weird. So it's just like those little, just seeing these little like smoke. Like that's why I knew something was up with that and stuff. And I bought. I mean, like my original name in crypto was like Dogecoin Muhammad.
Like actually.
Yeah, actually, yeah. It was Dogecoin Muhammad. Then
Oh,
from there, I was Litecoin Moses, Hex Jesus, and then I just went to dollar cost crypto from there.
You didn't stick with the theme.
No, I didn't stick with it. Well, the thing is because like I kept looking into so many coins. Like here, I kept running into this problem. Even with the Hexagons, like I was actually being bullied a little bit in the beginning of Hex.
You should be Pulse Buddha next.
Yeah, because like why don't you call yourself Hex Moses or like Hex Jesus or something? Like make that your official name. Like why you have so it's the thing too is like if early back in the day we were trying to get as much people into Hex as we could, right? Still are, but like
yeah.
But if anytime, especially like now, it's a little bit easier to kind of talk about Hex a little bit now compared to how it was back then. Because like I lost a ton of my buddies in crypto because I supported Hex. Like I lost all my Decentraland buddies other than a couple of people and stuff, and like all the sandbox people I knew and all the early like kind of like game people I knew in the whole GameFi space. Like everyone said like you're a fucking scammer, not scammer, but you're into bullshit. Like basically like why you getting into that scam, dude? And like they stopped talking to me. Which is like what, and then so this is the problem I was having is that's why I kept the Litecoin Moses thing because I was talking to I got a lot of people from Litecoin into Hex.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And then in the
a lot of people.
Yeah, and then this is the main thing why I mean people don't know this, but like from like the courses that me and Charlie have run, we've gotten like 7,000 people into Hex from the courses alone.
Wow, 7,000. Yo, that's like 10% of all stakers, bro. That's nuts.
Seriously, and that's not even counting all the numbers that I got in with, like because like it was me and RG3 back in the day running the Discord syndicate since the beginning, and dude, it was me and RG only on the stream for like ever, basically. So we got a ton of the original Hex people into Hex from the Discord syndicate, and then from the courses alone, me and Charlie have gone like an additional like 7,000 people into Hex. So it's
that's
like
a flex. That's a flex right there.
And I don't flex that shit too often, but like I get kind of pissed. Even I get a little bit emotional and pissed off about it and stuff because, like, I have to like put some respect on my name.
Really, man. Yeah, man. That you should tweet that. Like that's something I'd be tweeting like every month, just like phrasing it differently, but reminding people.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of and I'm not taking nothing away from like because like I also want to give great credence out to like RG3 and Hexologist and because like it was me Hexologist and Crypto Coffee who started Discord Syndicate, but realistically it was Hexologist who started the Discord Syndicate stuff because he made the whole account for us. And then it actually one of the reasons. So here's something funny. Like one of the reasons why the Discord syndicate always starts at 7 o'clock was because that's when I would get off of work and have enough time to actually get on stream. So like that, I think now there's a bunch of shows on it. But back in the day, like all our streams would be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then all would start at 7 o'clock basically because that's when I could get off. Because I mean. Back in the day, like I would work 7 days a week nonstop. So there wasn't a day I wasn't working. So I would work all day in the day, listen to Hex streams, like literally there'd be like two or three streams. I remember I could literally listen to everything on YouTube on Hex in like every day. Like it was so easy. It's like, all right, let me listen to Hexologist. Like I listened to the stream he did the other day just because I couldn't listen to it live. Like I listened to Hexel stream, maybe a Discord stream, and then sometimes Crypto Coffee would do one, or you'd get like a Funding Gym one, or I'm really trying to give people some like shout outs here. Bran would do one too. Just like all the OGs and stuff who would do stuff. I would listen to content, and then an occasional Richard stream once every 3 months or something.
So you'd clock out of work and clock into Hexico.
Yeah, clock into Hex, and then once I was done, I mean, I would finish the content in like 2 hours. So I was like, then I would just start listening to other crypto content.
Yeah,
basically.
There's no way you can do that now. Like watch.
Oh no, it's impossible.
Content.
That's why I can't keep up with all the drama. Like, there's people are saying there's drama in this. I'm like, where? I don't. I'm like a grandpa. Like, huh? There's something going on. Like, I'm so out of the loop now.
You're focused on building. You're focused on your students. You're focused on just like what matters. So, like shout out to you for not even noticing. Like means you're doing something right, I think.
No, man, I appreciate it, man. But like,
of course.
I guess let's get back to Hedron. Or God damn it.
Yeah,
I guess we're both a little tired today, I guess.
For sure. Yeah, Hex Spartan says getting ready to sack from Intra next couple days. Nice. Jawa says, I don't want to touch on this. Says, bro, this is the third stream I've seen now. You got to fix the lag on your camera. Some kind of refresh rate thing or something. Hard to watch. Apologies for that. I'll have to Google that. Like refresh rate, StreamYard, Sony A1600, Streamlabs. I'll have to hit all those keywords in a Google search tonight. But yeah, we can talk about Mintra. I mean, I talked about I don't think I mentioned the fact that you're not buying anything. You're sacrificing to prove you believe that blockchains should not destroy the environment.
Right.
And as we know, like proof of work is just not the way anymore. Like that was the solution back in the day to the double spend problem. I mean, it still is a solution, but it's not the best solution anymore. Like we know proof of stake works. So that's the whole premise there. So far, I think last I checked, almost $250,000 is sacrificed for the environment. So shout out to you guys. That's amazing. It hasn't even been a day. So yeah.
I'm gonna pump those numbers up. Don't worry.
there's a leaderboard site that just popped up out of nowhere, like just built by the community. That's freaking like so cool. Because I was talking with some of the guys, like, oh, we should probably reach out to like the guys who built Pulse Lead XYZ and all that. And then
right,
just like 20 minutes later, like, oh, someone already built one. Like, all right.
Yeah, you gotta link it to me, man. I you gotta link it to me because this was on my list and stuff. Because I kept hearing like, oh, it's coming up, and then as soon as I heard it was like you were affiliated, I was like, all right, I'll give it a good once over and stuff.
For sure. Okay, let me drop the link in the private chat.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. I think last I saw the top guy was like 15K or something. So I mean, the competition is pretty slim right now. I would say, which is pretty cool. Again, grassroots, no VCs. Like if VCs were in this, there would already be millions in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I have like 14. No. Split them up 14 different
wallets. Split them out. No, yeah.
No, I know.
Chuck them into Tornado Cash.
So can I ask a question? So when the token's out, is all the supply out instantly, or is it going to be a drip out in terms of like sort of like how like Looks token does it, where you get like a dual yield of like Looks token and Pulse emission or Pulse money basically, or Pulse tokens?
So it will be instant. It'll just be everyone gets airdropped their free coins, and from there the can hear a slight echo. From there the supply just decreases.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Damn. I mean, so that's really cool. And do you? So are you? Or some is like. Is the team itself going to have a certain allocation of tokens and stuff that it's going to like give out to help foster like NFT projects or something like that on or like or kind of like a spotlight page on some like collections?
We thought about it. You're asking if there are going to be mint tokens basically that are given out to just like to market?
Yeah, just in terms of like having like I would almost call it like an advertising or a community pool basically in terms of some of the token supply where you're able to use some of those like minter tokens and stuff to like pay out to the used to be like to help out like up and coming NFT artists or as prizes and stuff because I know you're going to create some sort of community and stuff like that in terms of community stuff or highlight like, oh, this guy, hey, this is a pretty big artist on the Pulsechain right here. Let me put this in the spotlight and stuff because there's a couple of things I can even talk to you about sort of like design stuff in terms of the project if you want another second opinion or something.
Yeah, definitely. I'm open to these ideas because like we've thought about it, but then again, like to what I said earlier, you don't want to just give away these mint tokens for free. You like if you've heard this, I'm sure. I mean, you have your own courses. Like when you pay attention and you just care more. Like you have skin in the game. You have like a theoretical like cost basis in your mind. Then if you just give them away for free, like I know what I've done with all the tokens I've gotten for free.
Right. What I meant is more like it's just kind of spend money on like some community building stuff. That's really what it was. It's not like actually like you make an NFT, you get coins, nothing like that. No.
Well, you can do outreach, you can do marketing, you can incentivize artists, giving them stuff other than mint. And if the incentives are aligned, you don't have to give them mint. But you actually got me thinking. Like if you do give them some, they're incentivized to hold it, stake it, and upload their NFTs, because the more NFT volume that goes through, the more PLS mint stakers will get. So I do see some cool game mechanics that could be thrown in there.
Right.
Yeah, but at the moment, I don't think so.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Well, nah, I won't troll. I was gonna troll. I was like, nah. But no, it's all good. I was gonna ask something pretty dumb, but no, that's. I think that's really. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, honestly, we did need a really cool front end, and I think you took a really good model in terms of like what they were, because obviously like the OpenSea should have had its fucking token out like so long ago, long. Like my God, like I spent so much on OpenSea back in the day. Like actually, there should have been an OpenSea airdrop at some point where I should have got.
I think your audience wants you to troll me. I kind of want you to troll me too. Like,
no, it wasn't a troll. It was just like, where go? Because in terms of what you can sacrifice, is it Hex? Is it USDC? Because I know different projects are doing like weird, or like saying like only USDC, really, or like stuff like that. Like, are you doing Hex, or what can you sacrifice?
Yeah, you can sacrifice on 4 chains: Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Avalanche. On those 4 chains, all the stable, like the blue chip stables, are fine. USDT, USDC, DAI, the native tokens, obviously Matic, AVAX. On Ethereum, Hex, WETH, Wrapped Bitcoin, just the ones you'd expect, right?
Right.
Binance Smart Chain, BNB, BUSD. Although it's all listed on the page, mintra.info. Yes, we are accepting Hex as well.
Okay, so where does the ETH go, bro? So where does the ETH
worded that wrong. You can sacrifice Hex to the Mintra sacrifice address. Where does yeah. Well, I mean, you can watch what the address does, right? Can I curse on your stream or not?
Yeah.
Okay, I was saying you can fuck that address literally all day on all 4 chains. Like, be my guest. Tweet at me or tweet at Mintra every time you see something move. Like, feel free, man. Hedron is in the chat. They said, pushing all my Pulse users to Mintra as the current best Pulse marketplace. Keep up the good work. That's a huge use case that I did not expect when we were building this. It's like, Hedron is doing the whole tokenized hex stakes, or not tokenized, but I guess you could call it tokenized hex stakes as NFTs. Yeah. So you'll be able to trade your NFT share.
It's receipt. It's basically a receipt token, really.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an NFT, but I mean, like eventually, like everything's going to be coming. Like the way I think things are going, like you're still going to have some tokens, but we're going to be heading more towards NFT, just because everyone knows what NFT. Like I actually get kind of pissed off when people like NFTs is just like the wrong word for it. Like most people, what they think of an NFT, it's a crypto pixel picture, basically. Where like an NFT can be a lot of different things. Basically, it can be a receipt. It's basically a receipt token of like a hex stake, or it can be a fractionalized real estate of a property or stuff, or you can get an NFT and own and trade that NFT around, and you actually own some digital land, like unicorn land, which is real, or all kinds of these game things and stuff. So there's a lot of real world. I hate seeing that. That just sounds so lame, but like I've heard so many I've heard so many people say that shit, but like there's a lot of real world applications that isn't just like these little like pictures itself. Like it's the beginning of it and stuff. Like the NFT space is here to like grow into a lot of other places. I'm really excited when you can start buying like fractional like pieces of land and stuff like that. And like even right now you can buy game pieces. What is going to cause at some point is that you can actually get higher prices where a single person would really think twice before buying some like land. But if you can buy 100th or 1,000th of it, and then you can, and it's on an auto compounder where you're able to collect the yield off of it, and then you own 1,000th of it, it becomes affordable where people can then like dollar cost into an NFT land and stuff like this is stuff that's coming now. Like right now, no, it's like, because most people can just buy the land outright. But at some point, this is like if we didn't have banks, right? Just to throw this out, if we didn't have banks, most houses would be probably 25, 30, maybe 40, 50, $100,000 per bank. But because you can go to, we have banks, you can put down, 3% to 20% down and get loaned out 5 times the value, basically, of what you put up, and get yourself a house. So that's why that's one of the reasons we can also, because we're playing sort of a repostification game really on like lent money in a way. So you are using leverage. Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Like whenever I hear stuff like representing real world stuff on the blockchain, I always hear that little Richard in my head. Like,
I know.
if you're going to represent real world stuff, you might, if you're just trusting that one guy to tell you what the real world is doing, then you can just use a centralized database. You don't even need a blockchain. It's just an expensive, shitty database. Like, I can't help but like hear that.
No, but he's right. I mean, look, he's not wrong. But it's a sort of thing where like it's the hype. It's like, okay,
yes,
how can we
hype
get money?
is real. Hype is real.
How can we get money? Like, I mean, like I hate all like the red tape and like people always lie about this shit. But like, okay, how can we get money for things and stuff? We have to hype it. I mean, back in the day, like people were like hyping up like artificial intelligence. We're the newest people in artificial intelligence algorithms and stuff on the blockchain, you know, or what. Like blockchain was just a way for people to get money because like people want to build stuff, but the thing is that they need money, so they need to like, okay, but we're like the hype stuff. So like, you know, we're like let's just say I had like a popsicle factory, right? And like no one's giving me money. It's like we're the first popsicle factory on the blockchain. Whoa, dude, really? And like, I'll throw $1 million at that. I mean, it's so dumb, but I mean,
yeah,
that's what it is. You know?
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't think about it that way, but you're right. Have people saying Hedron and Mintra sitting in a tree, but yeah, like it's one of those use cases that like I didn't expect, and then just bombarded with I'm gonna throw my tokenized hex stakes on a Mintra. I'm like, all right, yeah, do that, please. You got Hedron commenting again in the chat saying you're essentially assigning ownership of an encapsulated stake to an ERC 721, which you can move to another address and detokenize to receive ownership of the stake. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Because I know Firebun did encapsulated stakes, but like that shit was so hard to understand. And like I don't think anyone used it, sadly.
It's tough. And then on top of that too, it'll be expensive with gas fees. I mean, like, I mean, damn, dude, like I got some sad stories of how much you have to pay. I mean, like honestly, like the stakes are like, but there's a lot of stakes that it's like, man, like I've seen people pay $3,000 for like ending a stake and stuff like that. I've seen that.
Up to, did you say up to 14,000 or up to 3,000?
No, 3,000.
So like a whole ETH basically.
Yeah. Like to unstake, that's wild to me. Like that actually kind of scares me because like if the let's just say which some people say, well, hey, that's a pump of mental. Well, I know, but really not if it happens to enough people where they can get people pissed off about it, you know. But there's this whole thing where you know, if Ethereum keeps going up in price, which I think it will, like they're going to be having an upgrade, which I know people don't believe that's going to happen, but I between Q2 and Q3, they're going to have the merge happen, which is going to be a triple halvening for Ethereum. It's not going to like help gas fees. It's going to make it worse.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's like that's pretty good for Pulsechain actually, but price go up on Ethereum during that time. So it's going to be a huge hype event where you actually have the first time where institutions can like. You want to buy Bitcoin? Or you want to buy a Bitcoin with a yield? Yeah, I'd rather buy Bitcoin with a yield, and just because like they're holding it long term anyway. So there's going to be quite a lot of like institutional money probably buying a little bit more Ethereum, and or maybe selling Bitcoin and buying ETH a little bit more. So you'll see some readjustment in that. You'll probably see a good kind of price bump up on Ethereum. So like effectively, it's going to be instead of like being inflationary, it will be like a deflationary currency of it'll burn about 1 million Ethereum per year, give or take. Something like that. So not bad. It's better than what it was at before. And then now at least you're holding ETH and you're getting like 3 to 6% yield on it. So not bad. So that'll pump the price, but that'll also help the narrative for Pulsechain because can you imagine the gas fees? Like, God damn, that's horrible. It's gonna be bad. Like I am not very confident on them like getting out like, you know, ZK rollups on layer 1 or some shit like that. Like they'll be trying, like everyone in Ethereum's gonna be trying to pushing people onto their layer 2s like Matic or Optimism or maybe like Loopring. I know there's like a lot of like inside trading shit going on with Loopring, which was kind of suspect a little bit, but you know, yeah.
I'm still waiting for my Optimism airdrop. I used all those things. Like they were not that. They weren't fun to use. Like, I think it waits, like you have to wait a week if you use, I think it was, I forgot which one it was, whether it was Arbitrum or Optimism, Hot Protocol, one of those, like where you deposit it onto layer 2. It was just such a poor experience. Like I had to wait a week to get my funds back. It was just bad.
Oh wow, I didn't.
Yeah,
Damn, how long ago was this?
a few months ago.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, maybe you'll get you'll get an airdrop at some point. But I don't hold my breath on any
Yeah,
of that stuff.
I'm not holding my breath. You just brought up layer twos, and I was like, hey, I've used layer twos before, but yeah, they're definitely not end game. I don't think.
No, I don't. I don't think so either. Or if they are, they're fucking way down way down the line. But then at that point, they could probably miss the whole boat anyway. But
yeah,
dude. I mean, shit. Is there anything else you want to talk about your project and stuff?
man. Check it out. Mintra.io, Mintra.info. Like if you're interested, there's a lot of support in the chat. Like I said, your chat's really supportive. Yeah, almost last I checked, I haven't checked in a few hours. Last I checked, about 250,000 sacrificed for protecting the environment, for the belief that blockchains should not destroy the environment, and good tokenomics. I think they're all outlined in Mintra.info. I am a co-founder, right? So if you bet on the jockeys, like you said, if you bet on the founders, if you look into them, here I am. Ask your questions. Like I'm in the t.me/Mintra official. I think we just crossed like 1,100 members. It's really cool. Happened really fast. And yeah, I'm in there like all day, all night answering questions, not getting enough sleep. But yeah, I'm here to answer your questions. And yeah, man.
So I guess I'll just sort of I'll just say one more thing and stuff in terms of like, do we know what we're gonna, because we said I'm actually gonna go on just a little shout out. I'm gonna go on Gerardo's channel himself. Once he gets a little more rest, stuff like that. So we'll be doing another live stream and stuff with. I'll be on his channel and stuff and everything like that. And I'll try to keep it a little more PG and stuff and not cuss so much.
Hey, nice. Yeah, I'm a scaredy cat. I don't want to get banned off YouTube like all these other crypto YouTubers. You've never been banned though.
No, I don't even get a strike.
I think we're too small for that. It's when we start getting like real influence in the world that YouTube's like, oh, they can actually change things. Let's give them a little slap on the wrist.
Right. Well, hey man, where can people follow you, man?
They can find me on twitter.com/Gerardog. I have to spell it GERAWRDOG. Same on Instagram. Telegram, same on Telegram. YouTube, a little different. There's no W. It's just youtube.com/GERARDOG. Where else? I think there's a Discord.
Probably Mintra.
yeah. t.me/Mintra official. I just made an Instagram for Mintra today. Mintra.io. Same on Twitter, Mintra.io. And yeah, bro. I think there's like benefit to having you on my channel, me on your channel, like mutual benefit where it's like, okay, now your audience knows about me.
Right.
And so that's good for me, right? But you get the views here, so that's good for you. So like it's just, yeah, I'll definitely have you on my channel to like balance things out and maybe flip the script. I'll ask you more about your background and your stuff and your course and all that. But yeah, dude, thanks for having me on. Apologies if I seem like dead, not my usual self, but
no, dude, yeah, I was trying not to tell the chat, but we had a discussion before that you were like pretty. I mean, especially seeing that you're like launching a token. I mean, or doing the sacrifice phase for it. It's pretty. I can't imagine how Richard was doing around that time as well. How tired he must have been. Jesus.
Yeah. So much to learn too. Like I'm learning every day, and it's fulfilling. It's overwhelming. It's like an interesting contrast, but I'm all here for it, man. But yeah, good chat, dude. Thanks for having me on, and I'll definitely have you on my channel.
Hey, dude, no problem, man. And I'm glad it's you making it now versus some other people that we don't know. So I'm kind
of thank you. That was my whole point. Like that's another angle you can take it. Like someone else is gonna do it, guys. It's gonna happen. Someone else is gonna do it. Would you rather it be me or would you rather it be someone else?
Dude, I'd rather it be a hexagon like you, man. I mean, like
I'd rather it be a hexagon too. Even if it's not me, I'd rather it be a hexagon. It could be you, bro. It could be Wave 3. It could have been Yash Deep, Kinetics.
Right,
I would like build, guys.
Yeah, build and stuff like that. And then we'll be talking soon, man. So yeah, I'll let you go. And
sir.
All right, peace, you guys.
Thanks again. Peace.